Hello everyone. Today we'll be presenting the topic of booming smartphone industry. Let me first introduce you to my school and teammates. My school, Aldurrah International School, which resides in the UAE. My teammates being me, Hawra Al-Jid, Amir Ahmed, May Murad, Yara Wael, Nur Rihawi, and Dima Al-Basha.
Hi, I am Amr Ahmed. Today I'll be answering question one, which refers to three major actions that have a direct ability to affect both supply and demand curves. As indicated in the question, a demand rising is expected in the market due to the new upcoming smartphone in 2021, and as a result of demand rising, a right shift will occur on the demand curve. The question has also pointed that there will be a technology development. As known, that technology development will always cause a right shift on the supply curve. So our supply curve will also shift to the right. Now we're having a graph with a higher quantity and a higher price. Those changes are controlled by some businesses in the market. Some companies won't be tough enough to compete with the other companies who have a great technology, so they are forced to leave the market.
It's me, May. Today I'll talk about the characteristic of oligopoly. The first one, we have the few sellers in the market. There are just several sellers who control all or most of the sales in the industry. The second one is the behavior of the group. Is each firm knows that its action will have some effect on the others on other firms in the group. And the third one is interdependence is when one oligopoly decided to change the price or the marketing structures and how it affects the other oligopolies. And the last one is a barriers to entry. It takes considerable know-how and capital to compete in the industry. Why why the cartel cannot maintain in the Apple and the Google? The first reason is one of the members would like to break the argument. The second one is cutting the price by the new internet.
My name is Yara and I'm going to be answering the third question. So based on the discrimination, we divided people into two parts, the ones with high income and the ones with low income. The consumers with low elasticity of demand will be represented in the inelastic side and should be charged with a high price. Conversely, the ones with high elasticity of demand will be represented in the elastic side and charged a low price. Price discrimination has many effects, such as consumer surplus is reduced in most cases, representing a loss of welfare. For the majority of buyers, the price charge is well above the marginal cost of supply. And the price discrimination benefits businesses through higher profits. A discriminating monopoly is extracting consumer surplus and turning it into subnormal profits.
Now, lastly, the last problem, which is the challenges that faces companies to deliver and promote products to the consumers. We provided you with three solutions. The first one being through means of marketing and competitors. Second one, to prevent the delays in the transportation process. Third one being by making smartphones Now the solution for the first solution is through means of marketing and competitors. Now, the new 5G feature has become a thing of interest for many smartphone companies, and this is due to the fact that such feature is very beneficial for its users, given its better speed and efficiency compared to the previous features. Therefore, it is expected that the companies that offer the 5G with their products will likely attract a greater number of consumers. This will stimulate the competition amongst smartphone companies and will result in many of them looking to include 5G, as well perhaps even forming agreements with other companies to collaborate in this new product. The increased competition will serve as a key incentive for companies to further promote and advertise their new technology. The 5G products will support the internet-related devices in a household and will act as a great step towards technology. As the 5G products will increase the speed of the internet of these devices and to ultimately make us rely on them. Now, the constant thrusting of this new technology to consumers will raise people's interest in the product. Therefore, the demand will increase as well. As a resulting of the increase in competition and the well-planned marketing, these 5G products will be high on demand, which means the production will increase as well. Production involves employing more individuals, which will generate income and productivity. Ultimately, this will have a positive effect on the economy, and where GDP will grow.
Right, this is Noor here, and we're going to discuss the second solution to the last question, which is to prevent delays in transportation process through employing more robots as opposed to human workers. Right, so smartphones have a complex supply chain that looks at first extracting raw materials, then manufacturing the components before finally reaching the assembly process. Most successful and popular smartphone companies are also the ones with a strong supply chain. Take, for example, Apple, and this is very popular, and we all know that it has roughly or even more than 200 suppliers for making its products and components, with its final assembly primarily taking place in China. However, seeing as there is the issue of the coronavirus, the global supply chain has seen a break in its link, and this could be traced back to China, which is the largest global supplier, i.e., the center of world production, really, facing challenges in resuming its production during this difficult time. This would mean trouble for industries that include automotive, pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, and of course, electronics. In attempts to mitigate this, I would suggest changing the means of transportation for materials and products. So rather than having people loading them into ships, trucks, planes, etc., robots should be used for this in place of the workers. This way, less workers will be needed in the overall process, and therefore a lower likelihood of the workers calling in sick on work days, which would mean there will be fewer delays in the transportation process and overall productivity should increase. Also, at the stations and the units for the materials and products, there should be robots to sanitize the items as they pass. This would translate into fewer workers being at risk of contracting the virus, so again, calling in sick and missing out on work days, as well as there being a lower chance of the virus spreading from country to another through these transported goods and products, of course. Thus, the global supply chain does not have to be compromised due to the pandemic, and these smartphone companies could still maintain their strong supplier base, and so their production should continue as per usual.
Hi, I'm Dima, and I will present the third solution to the problem, which is basically a marketing strategy that revolves around making the smartphones eco-friendly. This way, we will reduce the complementary products that usually come with the smartphones, thus it will be sold at lower costs. One way smartphone companies can shift their entire industry plans into is specializing in devices that promote educational purposes. As we already have a great demand on advanced yet cheap devices, and because of the spread of coronavirus and the lockdown, it's still preventing us from going back to our normal lives. Having multiple smartphones at one house has become a need, especially for households with students or working people. And so smartphone companies can take advantage of this demand and produce devices that promote the 5G technology, as well as to set them at low and affordable prices. Although this may arouse a problem for many firms, this can be solved by making the earphones and chargers complementary products,
This way, they will have an additional marketing strategy. It will make them look like their goods are eco-friendly and will generate even more profit. We articulate this to the demand on the complementary products. As the demand on phones increases, the demand on complementary goods such as chargers and earphones in this case will increase as well. A further study can be shown is by Columbia University, which basically states that the 5G technology will provide many opportunities to protect and preserve the environment. 5G technology will be able to increase energy efficiency, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and enable more use of renewable energy. It can help reduce air and water pollution, minimize water and food waste, and protect wildlife. In conclusion, by making the smartphones eco-friendly through means of marketing and competitors, and lastly, to prevent the delays in transportation and sanitize the materials through robots, businesses can solve this problem that they are facing in delivering and promoting products to consumers. Thank you.